Kala Imla, Alahai Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach Wa Malaki Bashim, Harawat Kakudash, Baraka Thumb, the water Baba Wakwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine and say Shalom. Uh, I got a couple of videos queued up. One of them talking about the blackouts, and the other one is talking about what it is. Man, I forgot what it was, but it's pertaining to all the emergency situations that's going on today. But before we get started, I just want to point this out. Now they claim that all the IT systems that use Microsoft computers were affected. I don't know how true this is. This is what I heard. But if it is true, whose name pops up in your head when you say think of Microsoft? Bill Gates. This ain't no coincidence, y'all. And plus, you had the director of the FBI come out and say it's gonna be a bunch of blackouts. Okay, why you telling us? Go do something about it, you know. But that wasn't the goal of him saying that. The goal of him saying that was this is basically what it translated to when he said it's gonna be cyber attacks and all this. That basically translates to, look, we about to do this to y'all in a couple of months, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Because if he was doing his job and this scenario was real, it wouldn't even got to us. It would have been neutralized before we even heard anything about it. So to let you know, Esau is with the shit. He in on it as well. Director of the FBI. Then who else? You got Klaus Schwab came out and told you. Just imagine, y'all, a whole bunch of blackouts just taking place. You know what I'm saying? Then trying to present himself as a hero. They are doing this to America, y'all. Y'all slow, man. That's the word. Y'all slow. These people tell you what they about to do to y'all and then blame some imaginary creature. And y'all believe it. Y'all slow as hell. Now, let's start with the scripture, Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth was given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If Esau ain't the wicked, then who is? If Esau ain't pulling the strings, then who is? I'm talking about on earth. We know Yahweh Shem Shai is ultimately in control. But down here on earth, the Lord got his left-handed angels out here destroying this country. He got his left-handed angels uh forcing these lying-ass politicians and pastors to expose themselves. If y'all ain't noticed that. But let's go ahead and grab the videos real quick. This ain't gonna be a long one, but I just want to show y'all. And another thing, it's like the head of the camp of the Kansas City camp. He said this today on one of his videos, and I said it 2 days ago. If it is going to be an election, you best believe this is going to be the last election, because you got to take into consideration. Look at the rate of decline this country has been through over the past 4 years under the Biden administration, the masked man. You think America's gonna last four more years? He's already destroyed your infrastructure, wrecking trains, derailing trains and their water sources, destroying food supply, destroying farms, destroying water, destroying air. Now he claims that your electricity is at risk. He has destroyed all friendship, all diplomacy with other nations. Destroyed that. The only people in our corner, well, it ain't our corner, in Esau's corner, is the fake Jews, the Amalekites, the tunnel rats. And the whole world is turned against them as well. So you think the United States and Israel gonna survive another 4 years of bullshit? No, they're not. So yeah, this will be the last selection of the United States. So let's go ahead and grab the videos real quick. If it happens, these politicians, all they doing nowadays is pulling flea flickers on y'all, and y'all believe every word. Now check this out. It says, name of this video is So It Begins, 911 systems down in New York City and other major cities globally, also banks, hospitals, airports. This ain't nothing but a test run. That's all it is. So let's go ahead and get into this.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole.
First, we're going to get right to...
He just told you what he's about to do to you, in case you didn't pick up what he's putting down.
To Alicia Nieves in New York City, where, Alicia, you say 911 systems are down. What do we know right now?
Yeah, Anna, around 5 o'clock this morning, I was able to get a hold of the NYPD through a press line. And when I got a hold of an officer, I asked her immediately, is 911 functioning here in the city? And she said, no, it was completely down at that time. The next follow-up question, right, is how do people get a hold of authorities if they're having a bona fide emergency in one of the biggest cities in the country right now? And she paused, had nothing to really answer and respond with that. We found out, though, over the last couple of minutes that 911 systems, at least in some part, are functioning at their basic levels. We don't know how long that'll last or if that'll ramp up to full capacity. Again, this is the largest city in the country that's having this issue right now. We are being told that firefighters and police officers, they are getting dispatched when they are notified of emergency, whether it's people going directly to a precinct or actually being able to get through 911. But they're having to do everything old school over radios. They cannot use their computer systems. They can't use most of the basic functions and infrastructure they normally rely on. I will tell you again, back at that call that I had with the 911 call center, you could hear as soon as the phone was picked up the scattering and the bit of the chaos going on behind the scenes to try and get everything up and running this morning, again, in the biggest city in the country. Now, this is not the only city, obviously, dealing with 911 issues. Around the country, because of this IT worldwide outage that we're seeing 911 centers be affected there. Other major cities include Minneapolis, Seattle, Atlanta. We're constantly updating and trying to find out more cities that are dealing with these issues and the workarounds being had, right? Again, we know here in New York City, there's some functionality. We're not fully sure exactly the full functionality. And of course, we know that officers are trying to go back to old school ways to at least respond to some calls. From the 911 call centers, though, to hospitals. We're in front of Mount Sinai Hospital, one of the biggest hospitals in the city right now. We've been trying all morning to get a hold of these hospitals to find out, are they able to fully function properly, right? A lot of these hospitals run on Microsoft software, and a lot of the software that's being affected right now.
You heard that? A lot of these hospitals run off Microsoft software. You got all kind of backdoor Trojans already embedded in the software. So when they try to sell you on, well, you need security for your computer and you install this security system like Norton's and all this other shit, you installing backdoor Trojans. You giving them the keys to your computer. And this goes the same. The elder brought this out. It's the same with doing updates. Updates ain't nothing but viruses, basically. Why do you have to have an update on a fully functioning self-independent running computer every 2-3 days? These are not updates. That's just what they call them. Prime example, I got a Mac computer I bought way back in 2011. It hasn't been updated in years. It runs fine. Computers don't need to be updated. This is Esau keeping his grip on you, keeping eyes on you. Computers don't need updates like that. But see, he forced you to update them because you don't get this quote unquote update, the computer won't run properly. So he says, but as I just said, my computer runs very well. And I had it well over 10 years. Let's go.
We have not got a response from most of the hospitals. However, a source at one hospital here in New York City, a physician tells me that at that specific hospital, they are able to function right now. Unclear if they have not been hit yet by this, if they have a different software, but at least one hospital in New York City not having an issue responding to patients. We're going to continue to obviously follow this story, happening all over the country, but here in New York, the biggest city, having issues with people getting a hold of emergency responders and possibly being able to access full services at hospitals, Anna.
That's right. So if you're just waking up with us, global outage hitting 911, airlines, banks, and more. We're covering it all for you. Alicia, thank you so much.
Okay, we can come out of this for now. How long we been telling y'all this was gonna happen? And y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till society collapses. Wait till you go months without power, without washing your ass. It's gonna get rough. Now let's get Job chapter 15, verse 35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity in their belly, prepare deceit. They've been telling you what they was gonna do to you. That's how we knew. And the Bible told us what they was gonna do. But y'all still don't believe it. Y'all still think America got a couple of hundred more years left on this belt. No. This country will not see a 2028 election. Now let's go. Wait, let me get the other video, then we can grab all the scripts. The name of this one is, it will behoove you to listen closely to this video.
Trust me, you are not prepared for the money to collapse. It has nothing to do about the money collapsing. The money is only one part of the problem. When the money collapses and people have no food or no gas or no nothing, they're going nuts. They're going to start going crazy and they're going to kill people. They're going to beat people up for a loaf of bread.
And all of this, what he talking about right now, is in the Apocrypha. End time prophecies, chapter 15 and 16. I'm going to get them. But first, let's let him finish.
I mean, seriously hurt people. Rapes are going to be up. Everything is going to be.
Y'all heard that, which is also prophesied to happen in the Bible. So all you OnlyFans women, all you BBL patients, it's going to be fun to see how y'all try to hide all that ass in the last days, because y'all going to be getting raped up left and right. We told y'all to put some clothes on. But y'all got to be seen. Y'all attention junkies. Guess what? You finna get the attention you've been looking for. Like the elder said, y'all about to get ran through big time. You got all these migrants over here watching your pages. They're following your page. Most of them probably already know where you live. They probably already know everything about you, if you single or not. If it's going to be easy to get in your house or not. We told y'all to put some clothes on. But y'all want to be seen? Y'all want some attention? They finna show you some attention. It ain't going to be the attention you want, though. I promise you that.
Yeah, the worst things that you can imagine are going to happen because people are hungry. They show you on these things all the time on TV, but you don't want to listen and you don't want to think that, oh, that's ever going to happen here. Sure it is.
See, that's that Edomite pride. Oh, it'll never happen here. We the greatest country in the world. Guess what? No, you're not. You're the most hated country in the world. That's fact. And you are the brokest. $34 trillion in debt. And they still printing up money, giving it not to you, giving it to other countries you never even heard of for real. Don't nobody know where Ukraine, didn't nobody know where Ukraine was for real until it stayed in the news all the time. Now, this ain't the world's most powerful country. If it was the most powerful country, they wouldn't have to do all this bullshit to the other nations just to stay ahead. And they're not ahead anymore. This is not the most powerful country. This is the most hated. And Babylon has given the whole world plenty of reason to hate it.
Look at these countries that have already failed their money, like Venezuela, one of the top 10 countries in the world, went bankrupt and failed their money. And look how much violence they had. Look at some of the other South American nations and countries that have went into bankruptcy and their money collapsed. Look at the violence. It's going to happen, folks. This is where you should have had faith already. This tells you everything that's getting ready to happen.
It does. He's right. But Cheese and Rice and come back to say none of you Edomites.
But they've convinced you that it's not for you to read and you shouldn't read it. And that's the furthest thing from them. That's part of the deception, to get you to not know what's coming at you. Do you not understand? The money collapse is only one thing, and it's not going to affect the elites. They've already converted their money to the new money, to the rainbow money from other nations like Ukraine, where they're filtering all this money. And trust me, they've got all sorts of accounts where the money's already been filtered back to them in the new rainbow currency that'll be worth the same dollar there, that'll be worth here when ours come out. The money will be worth the same worldwide. And then it's going to go to digital. But during this time, when this money collapses, understand that all these foreign troops that are here in America, they're going to surround these cities and they're going to cause accidents on all the highways. They're going to blow up bridges. They're going to block things that you cannot run away from the city. And you can't get in.
That's also prophesied in the Apocrypha.
Into the city because they want people to fight and kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when they go in to take control, it'll be a whole lot easier. Mm-hmm. And many of you don't want to take the mark and are Christians. You're going into the death camps.
I remember talking to an Australian diplomat at one point about this break between the U.S. and China, and said, you know, both sides are going to say, whose team are you on? And
now look at the date, 2022. This is how they tell you what they're going to do to you. They ain't going to come out and say it straight up. Esau ain't built like that. He wants you to pick up what he's putting down. Remember, he's the man of no integrity. They tell you in their little sick, dark ways what they about to do to you. And then they present it as if it's no big deal. Just like Bill Gates, remember years ago when he said, now our goal is to depopulate the planet by 10 to 15%, and we can do it. Did you just hear yourself? Did you just say that y'all were planning to murder 10 to 15% of the global population? Yes. See, it's no big deal to Edomites to murder. So that's why you got that script in the Ezekiel 35. Let me get it real quick. And this is verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. In the time of their iniquity had an end. Check this out. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So the Lord says, since y'all don't mind murdering people left and right, you don't mind being murdered your goddamn self. I would say that's fair, that's balance.
And he said, our job is to make sure the question never arises. But the question has arisen. And so I think we have to go deeper. And it's not about the U.S. versus China. It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71. And so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over.
No, it's not going to give you no clarity. You that nosy, you want to see what everybody buying with their money on the planet. It's not, you're not after clarity, you're after control. Why do you need to know what people are buying on a normal day-to-day basis? Why do you even care? Who has the time to be that nosy? See why the Lord called the Edomites the most hated? Because they don't know how to sit their ass down. All in the up in every, they insist on being up in your business. Why? Just to keep tabs on you, just to make sure you ain't doing better than them. They're just that fragile.
What's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have.
Why? You don't follow instruction. You break your own laws now. See, they're trying to soften the blow where we're going to give you a digital constitution. You don't follow this one on paper. These are born covenant breakers, born liars that put you in hope so that they can deceive you. Let me see if I can find out. These people off the chain, man. I was trying to present something like it's such a big problem, like logging into your computer or using money, using a credit card. Well, we gonna do this so you can so you won't have to carry money, so you won't have to carry a wallet, so you won't have to log in with your computer using a password. What's so hard about doing those things? Nothing. That's how they package their deception. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verse 6. If he have need of thee, yeah, he needs you to go, he needs you to take this mark of the beast so he can rule over you. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? See? Stroking your ego. Trying to get you to trust him, letting your guard down so he can stab you in the back. That's Edomite playbook page 1.
Have digital money, but also this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well. And the question is, will that new system of digital money and digital accounting accommodate the competing needs of the citizens of all these locations so that every human being has a chance to have a better life? Because that's the only measure.
See, you heard her, so every human can have a better life. Really? Let me get this. That's how they present it. Like it's you gonna benefit from it. No. You heard her now. She said, so everybody can have a better life. We doing all this for you. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We doing this for you. No, you ain't. You doing this to send yourself. You the only dumbass nation that will lie your way into captivity. Let them do it.
Of whether a world order really serves.
Let's come out of this. See? And then you got these the Trumpalites. They so stupid. It ain't about politics no more. These are a bunch of children trying to have, they focused on having their way. It's never been about politics. Big song and dance, a big show. It ain't that, it's the biggest soap opera going. For real. Let's go to Proverbs. Chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Yep. Let's go to verse 12. If a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. And that's everything that ever stepped foot in the White House. Seems like now they're trying to convince everybody that this bullshit with DT was real. It was not. Come on, man. A blind man can see through that bullshit. You're losing your grasp, your grip on controlling people's realities, Esau. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well toward his going. Y'all believe everything y'all see on TV. Y'all believe every lying word of anybody who steps in front of a podium willing to take enough time out to lie to y'all. Because you're desperate for hope. Ain't no hope in Babylon. Any old lie will do. Lie to me, please. Just put me in hope. No, you better accept reality. This country's done. It's not going to see another 4 years if it be a selection this year. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Yeah, both of these kings, so-called Babylonian kings, are children. You got one wearing a Halloween mask all year round. Don't nobody know who he is. Now, at first, they was claiming that he was, the man with the Biden mask on was delusional. They tried to fight that. Then it came out that this man been wearing a mask the whole time. Now they feeding into the delusion part. Yeah, he need to sit down because he kind of crazy. He kind of slow. No, the reason they're getting him out of the camera spotlight is because the world knows that this man been wearing a mask. You don't know who that is. That's childish. So if you in constant, it's him and Trump. When he pulled this stunt this past week. And y'all don't see it. These are liars, man. How can you trust anybody who's always in deception mode? How can you trust them ever? Trump ain't even in the White House yet. Already lying to y'all, pulling flea flickers. And y'all believe every word. Now you got the Trumpalites walking around with tea bags on their ear. They childish. They are children. And Trump, it just feeding his ego because he know he got y'all wrapped around his finger. He knows that whatever he says, you Trumpalites gonna follow. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and the princes eat in the morning. Let's go to Obadiah. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised, because you can't stop lying. But see, you do everything to justify people hating you. But yet, we the bad guys for hating. No, that's called indignation. That's called righteous hatred. And the whole world feels that way towards Babylon. Righteous hatred. They have a right to hate you. That's when you come in with your bullshit. Oh, that's hate speech. Guess what? If words hurt you, you ain't gonna stand a chance in slavery. You need to be developing your tough skin right now. All you other 16 nations, especially Edom. If words hurt you now, you ain't gonna stand a chance in captivity. So get off that bullshit, because we ain't gonna be trying to hear it, Yahweh Ratazah. The most violent thing in the world, words just, it hurts, words, most violent creature this world has ever seen. Stop it. We ain't gonna fall for it. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink. See, all the heathen, all you 16 nations. It ain't just Esau. And they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Because there's never been a time when all 16 nations, or 17 nations, have gone into captivity at the same time. Verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. It's just the beginning. See, right now you at the top of the stairwell. And all this shit that happened today and with Trump, you just hit your first step. Now you on your way falling down the staircase, basically. And America just broke its first rib. But that ain't all that's gonna be broken. Because guess what? You ain't hit the bottom of the staircase yet. You still falling. Go to Job chapter 30. Verse 8. They were children of fools, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. All this Democrat, Republican kids, they take children, man. And I saw that today when I seen all the Trumpalites rocking tea bags on their ears. Children. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 28. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. That's why they children. The Bible calls them children, children of fools, children of base men. Base mean you basic as hell. Simple as all I knows. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. That's that Edomite American pride. We'll never see a war here. We got another 200-300 years. No, the hell you don't. That's that Edomite pride. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That cognitive dissonance, you refuse to turn it off. Regardless of what happens in this country, Y'all still think y'all got 200-300 years left in rulership. No, you don't. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. And this goes to the elites. Or anybody that got anything to do with it. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? They still think don't nobody, ain't nobody on to them. That's how stupid they are. As much as they give themselves away. Okay. Stay stuck on stupid. Go to Isaiah chapter 30. That ain't it. That ain't what I was looking for. Go to 2 Corinthians. Chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we're not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, we know what you're going to do. You know why? Because the Bible told us what you was going to do. It's just that simple, baby. And you can't get out of it. You cannot offset prophecy. You will do what this book says you will do. And you know what else you're going to do? You will go into captivity. Let's go to Psalms. Chapter 73. Verse 6, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Pride. Violence covers them as a garment. But they don't see nothing wrong with violence. Bet. So you ain't gonna see nothing wrong when violence is done to you in the last days. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than the heart could wish. Verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. Verse 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. The pharmaceutical companies, Pfizer, all them, all these crooked-ass politicians robbing you daily. Your court systems, your cops, your judges, your lawyers. They have all sold this country out just by putting a fringed American flag in the courtroom. Because guess what? That fringed flag, you know what that means? It means that you are being judged by laws of another land, which goes against the Constitution, which is treason. But guess what? Like the elder said, your judges, your lawyers, your cops, they commit treason against you as a citizen every day. But y'all still think this is the greatest country in the world. Okay. If it was great, the Lord wouldn't have to destroy it now, would he? Now let's go to Psalms chapter 28. Verse 3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Klaus Schwab, beginning of the video. Just imagine all the lights going out, y'all. Why would we do that? See, that's him trying to plant them seeds. That's how he starts planting his lies. And they do it through the media all the time. FBI director. Planting seeds. Look, this is about to happen. But when it happens, it's China. It's Russia hacking shit. Well, how do you know? And if it is, go handle it. If you were doing your job, this news would have never made it to us. So obviously you're not doing your job, or you part of the problem. Either way, if this country was so great, the Lord would not have to burn it the fuck up. It's being burnt the fuck up for another reason, and not because it's great. Go to Psalm chapter 58. Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Born liars. Go to Psalms 49. Verse 11. Their inward part is that their houses shall continue forever. See, that pride. Oh, war never happen here. Okay. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Don't nobody do that but Esau. Alexandria, Fredericksburg. Yeah. Now let's go to Psalms chapter 5. Verse 9. There is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. An open sepulchre is an above ground grave or tomb. Ain't nothing in it but death. Psalm chapter 10, verse 6. See? Oh, we started too. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken into devices they have imagined. So they're gonna become the victims of the devices they got it set in place to destroy you. I say that's fair. Verse 5, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Like, they ain't nothing. See, he always in a child's mind state of I'm better than you. I'm better than you. It's mine, mine, mine. He always in that childish ass mind state. That's why he's unfit to rule. Stay in his feelings. He's been in his feelings for over 2,000 years because he was rejected. No, you wasn't. You sold your birthright, fool. And you can't steal it back because it's not written for you to steal it back. It's written for you to go into captivity, be exterminated after 1,000 years of slavery. So guess what? You gonna do it. Go to Psalm chapter 7, verse 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and have brought forth falsehood. Go to the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Because of Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Now let's go to Jeremiah, verse 17 and 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departed from the Lord. Y'all trust in Trump and the Biden masked man? Y'all done. And it's like that Edomite said in that video, y'all should have been building y'all faith yesterday with the true and living power. Not no fake cheese and rice, because he ain't gonna save nobody. He going into slavery because he's back on the earth in the reincarnation just to be judged. And if y'all don't know the backstory of cheese and rice, aka Cesare Borgia, I suggest you do your research because y'all worshiping a rapist and a murderer. Lamentation chapter 4. Verse 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, that cup of slavery. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. Verse 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. That's why everything you've been doing lately is being exposed on a world scale. Let's go to Ezekiel. Chapter 22. Verse 29, the people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery and have vexed the poor and needy. Yeah, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. All these man-made crises. Esau doing this shit to y'all, man. If he's not, what kind of crystal ball you got? Because all your predictions have been spot on. So what kind of crystal ball y'all got over there? Because you're not spiritual people, you're carnal. Now let's go to the book of Sirach. Not Sirach, Second Ezra, Salakia. Well, we can start at Sirach chapter 10. Verse 2, check this out. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's why you got Trumpolites. They're idiots, just like the man they worship. Same thing goes with the man with the Biden mask on. Pedos, homos, just weirdos. Yeah, whatever your leader is, that's what the majority of the city is going to be. So if you got a idiot-ass leader, you're going to have idiots as citizens thinking the same way the leader does. Let's keep going. Verse 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people. I mean, just causes crisis after crisis. Because he wants to, because he can. That's how he flexes his power. And that's also how he make people hate him. Esau's created to be the wicked. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. What else we got? Let's keep going down to 8. Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. We are in the beginning stages of that right now. Now let's go to chapter 12. We are already here. Verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. That's why I ask y'all, how can you trust somebody always occupied in evil and deception? If this man is always prepared to give a lie at any given time, how can you ever trust him? Y'all put y'all trust in man when you need to be putting it in Yahweh Hashem Shot. Verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And that never means never. It's not sometimes. Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verses 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man hold of his tongue. And look, what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Rich man speaketh. That's DT. People so tired of biting in his bullshit with the man with the biting mask on and his bullshit, they'll settle for anything. And that's a bad condition to be in, because a desperate man is a dangerous man. Trump is desperate to get back in there. And you got citizens desperately want him in there. That's a recipe for destruction in itself. Because everybody's desperate for change, not knowing if that change is going to be for the better or for the worse. Let's keep going. Let's go to 13. 14. Ecclesiastes chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? He will not take pleasure in all his goods. If this man is evil to himself, this man creates psyops where people die in real life. You know what Esau calls that? Collateral damage. Unnecessary death. So that people will believe our bullshit. It makes it look more real. See what I'm saying? It's more convincing now. But no, yeah, you call it collateral damage, you know what the Lord calls it? Murder. And you will be charged for it. You will be judged for it accordingly. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. How can it be fake? Real people died. That's how he sell it to you. This man don't give a damn about somebody else dying as long as it ain't him. Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And they're more prideful than a trumpet light. Now, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16, where that man was talking about it's going to be hard to survive out here. And he right. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we can start at verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. That's all you Israelites, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, and Latinos trusting in the system, trusting your enemy. Y'all going to the slaughterhouse. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Swords, modern day guns. Any weapon, any instrument of death is considered a sword. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They ain't gonna be studying what the hell a governor or mayor gonna be saying. They're gonna be in survival mode, murder mode, whatever it takes to see the next day. That's how bad it's gonna get out here. And they're gonna allow it because they think this is a controlled demolition of the country. No, this is the Lord's doing, because the chaos is gonna get out of control. And that shows Esau that he was never in control to begin with. It always been the Lord orchestrating the destruction of this country. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Martial law. We told y'all all this stuff was going to happen because the Bible, the Apocrypha, told us it was going to happen. Verse 18, for because of their pride and cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Spoil mean to rob. Because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. That don't sound like a great ass America to me. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and we can start at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Spoil mean to rob. Who fears the Lord? Israelites. Not the 2/3, though. They don't fear nobody but Esau. Because they do everything this clown says. You want to make you want to sell rap music? You want to do an album? Yeah. Bend over. Okay. Mm-hmm. You niggas are sick. Verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Yeah. Straight to a FEMA camp you go. Verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. The Israelites. I think that's all I got, y'all. Just going through some of these scripts. Make sure I covered all the basics. Yeah, I got them all. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close on that. So today's events, it was just an appetizer of what's to come. And if you think this was bad today, you ain't seen shit. So if I was you, I would stop believing in these lying-ass politicians. I would stop believing in this bloody-ass country. I would start building faith, getting to know the true power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, come about these churches, and prepare to walk away from everything that you love. I'm talking about all this material shit that you done attached yourself to. That house, that car, that business. You have to be able to walk away from it all because that's a snare. That's a snare that Esau is going to use against you. You want to keep your shit? Take this chip. He going to use your family against you. He going to attack your flesh. You want to feed your kids, right? Take this chip. So what you going to do? Because if you trust in Esau, you are fucked. So I'll leave that for y'all to ponder on. Today's events was nothing compared to what's to come. Call all Imlala Hay now Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai Hamashiach wa Malaki by Shem Harawat Wakagorash Baraka Thumb, the water Baba Bawa Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.